How's it going, vapors? Vape Vapors back to talk to you about several subjects today. Uh, I'm wearing my Make America Great hat again because we're going to discuss what happened with the vape ban and all the things that went on in the FDA, the government, and also we're going to talk about today what my choices are for 2019's best devices. And with that being said, I only use one or two or three different kinds of devices, and you can go to other reviewers' channels and ask them what they think about the one being specifically the the sub-ohm tanks that are out there that most people have gotten away from, that truly want to taste the flavor of their e-juice. And we'll do some things about e-juices I think are the best flavors to me too. But first we'll start out with what our great president did, Donald Trump. And I don't want to make this a political video. If you're a Democrat, I don't care. You're a Republican, I don't care. But this president was called for a meeting and had people from the entire industry and professionals, scientists and medical people, senators and congressmen and state senators and businessmen and e-juice makers and sub-ohm tank makers and device makers and RTA makers. And they were all there in a meeting with this great president we have, and he sat down there and he listened to what they were saying. Now, first thing they did was they passed 21 for all vape products and cigarettes. Okay, if that bothers you, then you must be under 21. Okay, and it shouldn't bother anybody that vapes out here that you will wait to put something into your lungs that may or may not be dangerous until you're 21 years old. You can do that. Now, if you're a military person, in my state, there's no writing rule that says an 18-year-old and you have a military ID, you can go ahead and buy cigarettes and vape products. We don't want anybody buying cigarettes anyway, right? They're bad for you. We are vapors. Okay? So, that was the first thing they did, and that was before they came out with the guidelines and rules that are going to come out later on this year, is that if you're going to buy pods, pods will be 21 years old, and pods will no longer have any flavor. They'll be tobacco flavored or mint. That's it, period. Okay? You know what pod devices are? Pod devices are, well, this one's kind of unique because I only buy the best of whatever there is out there about pod devices. This is a pod device. The pod being, you take out the tank here. Let me see this here, the tank. Okay, you fill it up. Most of them go on the top of pods. Most of them go on the top of pods. And you put it back in there, and then it's got a really restricted airflow on it. This just happens to be the IPV self-squonking pod, which to me is the most technically advanced pod device out there. And they have a new one now, these people. I might be getting that one to show you a new one that they have, which has a rebuildable. These are proprietary, and you can't rebuild them. They have a rebuildable one of these too, and you people might be interested in. But anyway, pod devices are all tobacco flavored mint. So when you go get your pod, you're going to be smoking a cigarette again. It's going to make you want to smoke cigarettes, I guess, which is pretty stupid to me. So plus the FDA is going into all the shops now, making sure that everything's in compliance. They're making lists. They're checking all their e-juices to make sure that they're not illegally made. You got to do all sorts of guidelines to meet their vape shop industry requirements. As for people that buy a e-juice and put it into a tank, an RTA or sub-ohm, or drip it, okay, drip it, this is not banned. Okay, you're going to be able to continue on because they heard from we the voters. We the voters that did all the things we could, and all the vape reviewers and everybody out there in the March on Washington and all, that we are in our age group from 30 to, I would say somewhere from 25 maybe to over 70 years old, are using e-juice flavors, and we're putting them in all sorts of, some of them tanks, RTAs, RDAs, dripping, whatever you're putting them in. It's not banned. So thank Donald Trump for seeing that wasn't the problem. The problem was these young teens going into a 7-Eleven or a convenience store and buying these little jewel pods that were orange and mango and chocolate, and we don't need them doing that. You know, they have too much to worry about in school doing things than to allow that to happen. I think they should remove them all from all the convenience stores, but that would be unconstitutional in my opinion. So what they did was they took the flavors away from the teens. Enjoy your tobacco. And I think it's kind of stupid too, because what's going to happen is they're just going to buy pods and start filling them up with e-juice. But it's going to be a little bit harder to do that on a website through the internet, or you're not even going to get in a vape store because they'll shut them down. Nobody wants to lose their business. Okay, enough of that. So we weren't affected, the people that use e-juice to do our devices. Now, we're going to talk about what I think is the best devices, and only the ones I use. Some things I won't talk about. So whatever you use that I don't talk about today, then you make your own decision on that, or look at other reviewers to what they think is the best thing. So what we'll do is we'll start out with this. The best RTA. RTA is similar to an RDA. It's a tank device. It's got a tank on it. Okay, and you rebuild it. It's rebuildable. So you can either do them with coils, or you can do them with mesh strips. Now, everybody knows on my channel that I love the mesh. So my number one pick for this year's RTA is the Colin M from Vandy Vape. Inside it has the Mr. Just Right one with Tofu platform of the mesh. So you can use next mesh in there to rebuild this. It's a lot easier with a cotton too. Okay, this thing is absolutely machined to perfection. There's not another RTA better than it. A lot of people will say that this Profile Unity is better. They have huge issues with leaking. If you don't do it correctly, it's still a great device, this Profile Unity from Watopo. But I'm telling you right now, instead of buying a Profile Watopo Unity, you buy the Colin M from Vandy Vape. It's a much better device. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to tell you what e-juices I like to do for 2019. And so it's a great RTA. It's got the honeycomb airflow on it. People that you can shut down all the way across. It's just a superior RTA. I love how you fill it up. If you're going to fill this thing up, just wind the top off it, right? You just fill it up right there. It's huge all the way around it, so you can't miss, right? And you can fill it up all the way to the black rubber gasket there below it, a little below it. You get almost 4 to 5 mils in this thing. So I'm going to take a vape off each one I'm going to tell you about. All right. Now, we all know about the Profile RDA with Mr. Just Right One's platform of mesh sitting on a little ceramic block that pushes it up into the mesh. And that's a Profile. Here's a Profile, right? All right. Well, the Profile came out in 2018, so it doesn't count this year as 2019's best. But it is still a great RDA, so I'm just going to include it that if you want to purchase one, they're worth purchasing. I tell you, the flavor, people. So what I am going to say to you is that there are two. Get it, two people. Wait, my fingers are going weird. Anyway, uh, there are two RDAs that I think are the best of 2019. And I'm going to put them side by side right now for you people to see. Okay. This one here is the Vape Mesh V2. It has the Mr. Just Right platform underneath it. It has a ceramic block. It uses its own proprietary mesh strips, which are wider than the profiles. This right here is the Profile 1.5. It uses its own proprietary mesh strips that don't fit in this one, don't fit in the Profile. They're wider, people, much wider. And there's been a lot of advancements on both these devices versus the Profile. Okay, the Vape Mesh V2 is wider. Okay, and they have a dual strip, and they have 4 strips, and their strips are only $3.99, and you have to buy cotton for it. The strips for Next Mesh and 1.5 are still up around $9 to $12. So that might be a pricing thing for you people. The airflow is better on the Profile 1.5 by a hair. The airflow on this is great. The flavor on the 1.5 Profile is outstanding. The flavor on the Mesh V2 RDA from Vape is outstanding. They are both my picks for 2019 RDAs of the year. Now, I'm going to take a vape off the 1.5, and I want you to listen. Now, the thing about this is that they've come up with 3 strips with it, and this one, that you can get a warmer vape. This one, the 1.5, you can take these things up to almost 80 watts. I've had them to 100 watts. The stainless steel one. I wouldn't recommend it over and over again. 80 maybe, 75. If you like a warmer vape, this has gotten warmer because a lot of people said they didn't like the cool mesh vape. Well, they have a strip that just for cool people, but it's a better upgraded device. All the interior stuff is wider. The ceramic block's been beefed up. It's got grooves in it. The strips are better. They're wider. I mean, this is just a better device than the Profile. So is this. This one you can take up too. They've got 4 of their own mesh strips too, but the cost is less for them. So I've got this Mesh V2 at 80. You see that? Handles it perfect. When a Profile, you couldn't hit that thing over 70. Okay, if you started hitting it at 75, 80 all the time, it would probably flare up on you, and it would just, you get burnt hits. Okay, so you can take these devices up higher in voltage, people. Plus, if you put the stainless steel in there, you can do it by volt if you want, instead of wattage. Okay, and I've seen people do these at 100 watts. Okay, so depending on what strip you want to put in there, they have an extreme with this one, and they have the stainless steel and the dual and all that for this Vape one. So my 2 best RDAs of the year are the Profile 1.5 Vape Mesh V2 RDA. Both the best RDAs in the business today. Well worth buying. Okay, you're going to see that I'm going to have a moment here about what is the best squonker out there. Now, I have several squonkers. I have the TVL bottom fill squonker with the squonk button right on it. It takes a 21700 battery under it. You never have to take the tank out. You just put your pen in there. Your juice bottle, fill it up in like 2 seconds, you're done. Then you just hit the button up here and you squonk it. Okay, this TVL is a great device. It's a great device. Now, what is the best squonk device out there? Well, Vandy Vape, Tofo, all of them have squonk devices, but the best squonk device of 2019 has to be top sides line of squonkers. The massive amount of 10 mils of juice you can put in these, the way that you top fill it by taking this cap off and just filling it up, the squonk bottle itself, the designs, it's just a superior squonk device now, people, today. 2019's best is the Topside. Now, Topside this is a dual. It's got two 1650 batteries in it. I've got a profile sitting on top of it. I'm hitting the profile right now, 50 watts, and it's just like unbelievable amount of vapor. You can't hardly even take it. If I took this up to 70, you barely can take in the amount of vapor it produces out of this device. It's like instant hit, instant going. Oh man, that tastes so good. They have several models that came out with in 2019 of this. This is the SE, the special edition, carbon fiber with the silver paint. Okay, they have a single with only one 18650 battery in it. It's just like this with everything else on it, but it's not dual battery. They have a top side light. Now I'll be getting the light pretty soon here, people, and I'll do a review on it. The top side light squonker is probably what people are going to go to. I don't know why they didn't come out with it first, but they didn't. Yeah, but it looks like it's going to be the superior device because these are pretty heavy. This is a desktop vaping device, in my opinion, unless you've got somewhere to sit it in your car. And then if you sit it in your car and it bounces around, you're going to break that door. So remember to put some padding underneath anything in your car so you don't break these doors as it bounces down the road. All right, so they also have one more topside called the Topside SQ. It's a little pricey of a mech mod that's square, just like these topsides. You fill them at the top. But the thing is that it's about $140, and I don't recommend it. In fact, I put it on their website. I said, once you bring the price down to about 69 bucks, I might think about buying one. Otherwise, I'm not buying it. I mean, I'm going to tell you why. Okay, this is Vandy Vape. This is Vandy Vape's Pulse Tony B Project Squonker. Okay, there it is, 21700 battery. There's the squonk bottle. Okay, it's a mech mod. Guess how much I paid for this? 19 bucks. It's over a year and a half old. Okay, works fine. Works absolutely brilliantly. So why would I pay $140 for a topside SQ? So I'm just telling you there's 4 different kinds of the topsides. That squonk device, that company is brilliant. TVC, the Vapor Chronicles, who designed it, okay, for DOBPO, DOBPO Corporation, is the top squonk device in the world today. Okay, so. All right, now, I don't do sub-ohm tanks anymore, but I own sub-ohm tanks. And I own coils over there that I don't use, about 150 of them. Stainless steel, most of them mesh coils. Everything from Freemax to Firelink mesh to everything in every tank that you can imagine. Okay, so I do have one fired up today, and that is, well, I'll be damned. Let me see what's happening here. There we go. I didn't have it turned on. I got to turn it on, people. There it goes. It's firing up. This is a SMOC device called the Species. Okay. So I've got it at 71 volts. It's got the A2 tank on it. It's got the triple mesh coils in it because I found that they were the best coils, and this is the best mod device that I've ever used. There was no reason for me to buy another one. You look at this thing and it fits in your hand perfectly. It's tapered down on the side. It hasn't lost one piece of paint in 2 years, and they're still selling it for the same original price, $59 on websites. And you know what the reason for that is. It's because it's a great device. So I don't do sub-ohm anymore, people. But if you're going to go buy a sub-ohm tank out there, you're going to have to look at another reviewer. I'm not going to tell you what, the ones where you have to buy proprietary coils and screw them in here. Most of them are push button now, push in coils. So I'll just stay with this. I don't see any difference. Pretty good flavor. Not like a Profile though, or a Mesh V2 or a Colin M. Now, there is a tank out there that I'm kind of curious about sub-ohm, but I'm probably not going to get it. There's a new TVF12 SMOC tank, very large one. That's another thing. I don't like a very large tank. I don't need those humongous tanks full of e-juice where it just burns them down. I have the Cloud Beast King over there. If I wanted to burn down e-juice like no tomorrow, then I could hook it up and go up to 170 watts and start burning the e-juice like it was going out of style. Okay, so I keep this one at 70. I could go down to 50 if I wanted on this and still be happy. SMOC has a TVF12. They just came out with push-in coils, but you have to buy coils all the time. And the reason why I tell you have to buy coils all the time is because on my Profile, and these, they last a month. I can pull the cotton out and make sure I burn the strips and see if there's any hot spots. If there are no hot spots, I just put cotton in them. So I buy a pack of $3.99 for 10 of them. You're crazy people that use sub-ohm tanks for cost. If you have the money, who cares, right? Go ahead and buy it. Back to this TVF12 from SMOC. SMOC teamed up with, guess who? NextMesh, the ones that put the Profile strips, and they now make all the strips for the Profile 1.5. Okay, and I think that Watofo buys them from them. They just don't state that it's NextMesh thing. Either that or they have their own. I'm not sure about that. Somebody can help me out with that. Well, anyway, SMOC teamed up with NextMesh to make their new proprietary coils in their TVF12. Excuse me, which I think is a brilliant move. Okay, it's a superior coil. So if you're going to go buy a tank, I'm going to say in 2019, the TVF12, the newest one from SMOC with the NextMesh proprietary coils, would be the choice for you to go. They have done surpassed, and I haven't used it, but I know what I'm talking about when I look through all these things and see what they've done, that it's going to beat Freemax and the Fire Loop Mesh. That coil that NextMesh designed for them will be superior to the others. So if you're going to buy a sub-ohm tank, that would be the one I would. It's really large too. I think it takes 6 to 8 mils or something like that. It's a little step down from that TVF16 that's like 9 mils. I don't even know why anybody would want a sub-ohm tank that big on their thing. But if you want a superior device still being sold today that works as advertised, it doesn't break, buy the SMOC Species with touchscreen with the B212. It comes all in one package. Make sure that you order the rainbow triple mesh coils. okay, or get the duals. There's 3 sets of coils for them, A1, A2, and A3 that go in this, and only those 3 fit this sub-ohm tank, and this is still on sale on every internet website on there. And they have some pretty beautiful colors, and this is one of the mods that they fix with no paint loss, no fingerprints, nothing gets off. It's got a great feeling, and it's small. It fits in your pocket, and it goes up to 220 watts. So I would just buy the smoke species. Screw all the other ones. Now they do have a new one called the G-Prib 3, and it makes the Aegis look like a piece of junk. And the G-Prib 3, I have the G-Prib 2, and I have the G-Prib 1. If you're wondering what they look like, the G-Prib kind of looks like this. I have no batteries in it. They're a squarish type device. Okay, so this is a G-Prib baby. Okay, so they all kind of look like this, but the G-Prib 3 is out there from Smock right now if you're going to buy a sub-ohm mod and put a tank on it. The tank comes with that TFB12 with the next mesh coil, so that's the one I would recommend for those kind of devices that you people are going to buy. Now, as for the pod device in 2019, we'll go into that now. The best pod device in 2019 is this right here. Okay. This is the, what this is the IPV WITI self-squonking driver pod device. Okay, with non-rebuildable coils in it, and it's a beautiful device, people. It just, now there's another company out there now that made this a little better with a rebuildable one, but it looks exactly like this. But you know what? I found that these coils last about a month, so why would I want to get into such a tiny little device and try to build that all the time? But some people, they want to do that. So this is the best pod device out there, the IPV ESS driver self-squonking pod device. If you people are into this, very small, can't even see it in your pocket. It's made out of really hard carbon steel, I would think. And the laminations haven't had anything come off it. No buttons have moved. I've used it for almost a little under a year now when it first came out. And they cost about 49 bucks online now. This one was, they were 70 when they first came out. But if you're into pod devices, very small, it's about 4 or 5 times thicker than, about 6 or 7 times thicker than a credit card, then this is for you. So the IPV is the best pod device of 2019. But anyway, we'll end this up with saying, you won't be seeing my Make America Great hat again. I bought it because I wanted the president to support the vaping industry, multi-billion-dollar vaping industry. We got 11 million people in America now vaping instead of smoking filthy, nasty, killing cigarettes. And so thank you, President Trump, for listening to all the people out there and then making a decision that raising the age and the pods that the people were putting the weed, THC, and oil, E-acetate, and making them sick, which has nothing to do with the vape industry. Thank you for helping that. Now, I'm going to tell you what my three favorite e-juices are for 2019. First one being Lemon Pink Punch for Twist Corporation. 2019, Fried Funnel Cake. Absolutely outstanding, people. Twist, Cookie Twist, Honey Graham Cracker, Strawberry from Twist. That's what I vape, people. Now, I'll give an honorable mention to Bad Drip if you want to drip. Bad Drip has a great line of e-juices for dripping. This one happens to be a blueberry. Okay, and they have banana, pineapple. They have strawberry. So bad drip gets an honorable mention for good drip juice this year. So, all right. I don't get paid for these videos, people. Hit my like and subscribe because it's the only way I can bring you more videos. And I don't get paid for advertising. I don't get paid for anything on here. The only people that get paid for reviews are the top reviewers who get paid by the companies to show you devices that most of you will never buy and never use. Okay? I don't do that. I'm telling you what products give you the best flavor, the best clouds, and you can afford to buy out there. Most of you people, if you have a lot of money, then you buy whatever you want. I mean, I would like to go out and buy $400 or $500 custom mech mods, but I'm not going to. I'm not stupid. When a $19 device from Vape does the same thing. So we're going to vape into 2020, and I'm going to bring you some more devices. I already have 2 devices in mind that I want to purchase. It takes me a while to figure out whether I'm going to get them or not, or whether they're worth after I take a look at them to show you people. But stay tuned. I'll be bringing more videos. So hit my like, hit my subscribe, and have a great day, people. Have a great 2020. Okay. Vape Vapors here to tell you the truth about vaping, while the others are trying to show you vape devices that you'll never use and never buy. I'm out of here.